Well, hi everyone, it's the World's Rider, and I've got a new toy, Royal Enfield Himalayan, or Himalayan, depending on what your take on it is. Brand new, just got 100 miles on the clock, so I've got to stick to 40, which is a nose. I'm trying to get that bit done as quickly as possible, so I can at least cruise at 50. Very impressed with it so far, but it's early days. Well, let's hop on and see what it does. Right, tally ho. So I'm limited to 3,000 revs. So I'm going nowhere fast. But that's the way it is. So I've just done 103 miles. Already it's noticeably loosened off and smoothed out. But I believe they take a good 12 to 1500 miles before they're fully running, and probably a really good thrashing completes the process. Stay there. So, what are my initial thoughts? Well, it's a bit bigger than I thought it was going to be. Physically, it's a bit heavier than my street triple, but of course I've got the panniers on as well. Yeah, what do I like about it? Well, it's very comfortable. Seats comfortable, riding positions upright. Let me just put my sun visor down. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good ergonomic triangle, so ergonomically I really like it. Whoops, cut my speed down a bit. The engine's very smooth. Obviously can't really comment on the performance as I'm still running in, but from what I gather on the internet it'll cruise at 70 quite happily, which is what I want it for. I want it for gentle touring, doing between 50 and 60, looking at the scenery and smelling the roses. I wanted plenty of luggage capacity, and of course it's got these tank guards, which I think my USB 20s will strap to. My USB 30 will go sideways across the seat, and all my camping gear in the panniers. Tent on the luggage rack, so ideal for that. But yeah, it feels like a bike you could do big mileages on and still remain comfortable. I did 70 miles yesterday and it was fine. So yeah, from that point of view I really like it. I'm quite impressed by the build quality. For what is after all a very cheap motorcycle, I thought the build quality is quite good. I have got a little issue. This brake line keeps popping out of its holder, so perhaps need to squeeze the holder together a little bit to hold it a bit more firmly, but that's a minor niggle. Other than that, everything works fine. Can't get the compass to work yet, but I've not had the opportunity to get somewhere quiet where I can do a few figure of eights to calibrate it, so that's not the compass's fault. Right, just stop at these traffic lights. Do they ever stop having roadworks? Not around here they don't. Mind you, Lincoln's 10 times worse. Ah, thank you. Yeah, what else do I like? I quite like the display. I quite like the analogue dials. Speedometer's nice and clear. Little rev counter, not really necessary I guess, but still nice to have, and a good fuel gauge, so that's very good. And then you've got a digital display, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a gear indicator, the time, always useful to have a clock on a bike. Ambient temperature, although the sensor gets affected by the engine temperature, so engine heat, so it's only really of any use before you start the engine. It's got a couple of trips and an odometer. Oh, and when you've got the side stand down, there's a warning message on it. So pretty comprehensive, and a load of telltales, usual thing, ABS light, charging light, indicators, main beam, that sort of thing. So yeah, good. What don't I like about it? Well, the front brake is not good. It's not one finger throw you over the handlebars job. It requires a good firm tug, and you really need to use at least 2 fingers, probably 3. But the rear brake's very good, so if you use the 2 together, it's adequate. But let's face it, this isn't a bike that you're going to be doing ballistic speeds on. Just not that sort of beast. Oh, one other thing I like about it, while I think about it, is I find the screen works very well. It's on there's 2 settings, just tilts the screen slightly. It's on the lower one of the 2 at the moment, and that's fine. I'm only 5'3½", so I'm a little shorty, so I've got to say it works very well. There's no turbulence around the helmet, anything like that. Yeah, I mean, it sounds reasonable. The exhaust isn't offensively loud. It's got a nice little bark to it. Yeah, well, that's not what I like. Well, I'm not sure about the matte finish paint, how durable that's going to be. That's but time will tell on that. And I think the rear rack has only got a load capacity of 3.5 kilos, so it could do with a bit of reinforcement really. But having said that, probably not good to have too much weight that far back on the bike anyway. Right, I've got someone behind me. I can't help but to hold people up. It's just going to push it up to 45 for a moment. Yeah, it's definitely loosening off. When I first had it, it was as tight as the proverbial duck's ass, but it's improved a lot. Excuse me. Yeah, so I mean, I've got to say, it's a lot of bike for 4,600 on the road with a set of aluminium panniers. You know, you can't complain at that. And if it's reliable, and time will tell, then you know, you can't complain for that price. I mean, in terms of reliability, there's a guy on one of the forums and on YouTube, Nathan the Postman. He's done over 15,000 on his, including a couple of Land's End to John O'Groats trips, and a trip across America on his, and had no issues with it, or nothing of any note anyway. Certainly a torquey engine. It's a very flat torque curve, and really this is what his engine is like. It's like, I don't think it's going to be an engine that likes to be hurried. I think you sort of wave it on the proverbial, run it on the proverbial wave of torque. Excuse me. Oh, bugger. Road closed. That's alright, we'll do a diversion. Go down through Sibsey. Yeah, it's just that compass is irritating me. I must find somewhere where I can ride a few figure of 8s and calibrate it. I'll have to put up with it in the meantime. So, what I'm trying to do is to get 300 miles on the clock so it can have its first service. I want that done before the winter closes in and it goes away in the garage for the winter. After the 300 miles you can run it at 50, which is a bit more reasonable. So, it's a nice excuse to potter around and enjoy the countryside.